Hello everyone. Today we're going to be learning about how to set up forms in Gust. Now you'll need at least Gust 1.8. So if you don't have that, make sure that you've updated. You can find any guides on how to get the most recent version on our website. So if you're not familiar with forms, it's a way that we can collect user input. And we can either save this user input, send an email. In our case, Gust is set up to just send someone an email with the content of that form. And it's important to note too that the Gust form builder is not meant to be a super comprehensive form builder. There are so many plugins out there, Contact Form 7, Ninja Forms, the list goes on, and they have some really complex functionality. The Gust form builder is just meant to be something basic to help you to quickly get user input. So the first setting to be aware of is that over in your Gust settings here, we've added a new little section down here, form email recipients. And this is a list of email addresses that Gust will send an email to when a form is submitted. So it's comma separated. So here I've got two, Matt at getgust.com, and we also have support. If this is blank, WordPress, I will just send it to the WordPress admin. So make sure that you fill that out there so that emails are going to the correct person. We also have a from email address here, and this is the email address that the email should come from. So if you may want this to be something branded under your domain, support at getgust.com. The important thing to note is that you need to have permission to send from this email address. So what that means in practice is you'll probably need something like SendGrid or Postmark, something like that to handle the email sending. There are tons of plugins out there for things like that, especially well-supported ones like Postmark and SendGrid. If this is left blank, we're just going to use the WordPress defaults. But in general, for good deliverability, you should really use something like SendGrid or Postmark. So let's get started building. So what we're going to do straight away is put in a little container here. And then we're going to add our form. So all the form inputs are under this data input field section. So we're going to drag a form in, and you'll see that we've got a success message and an error message. Now these are not shown to the user initially, but they are displayed once either the form submits successfully or when it runs into an error. And we can change these error messages. We can say, thank you, we'll be in touch shortly. Or we can say, uh-oh, there was an error. Very straightforward. So probably the most common form of user input is a text field. So we're going to drag one of those in here. Now we've got a few options with the text field here. We've got whether this is required or not, a placeholder. For example, we're going to make this, we want to collect the user's name. So we're going to say, e.g. John Doe. Input type is here if we are for some reason using like an email address or a number, like someone's age for example, but we're just going to leave this as the default. Now the field name, this is pre-populated with just a random string here. This is going to be used by Gust to identify the field in any email communication. So it's really good to set this to something kind of sane. So let's change this to first name. And it's also important to note that generally we kind of use separate words with underscores here, or camel case like first name. We're just going to leave it as an underscore for now. So that's very straightforward. We're going to change the input label, which has kind of been hidden here a little bit, but you'll see we've got the label there. So if we click on the label, we're going to change it to say first name. And actually, we're going to set up some spacing here before we do that. So in front of that, we're going to say space Y, not space, H space Y4. And then we're going to drag this, where is it going? This text input into there. Great. So next we're going to say, we want to get a little bit more information. So we're going to add a text area. So while a text input catches a single line of text, a text area allows us to catch multiple lines of text. So we're going to say, tell us about yourself. And we're going to set this to bio. Now, I thought that actually I must have put that on the wrong thing. Space Y4. Great, that's a bit better. Okay, so that's very straightforward. Select is another very common form input. So we're going to add one of those. Now select's a little bit different. What could we do here? We're going to say favorite color. And we're going to change this. Now, we're going to add some options to the select box here. So we can say red, yellow, blue. It's worth noting here that select boxes have a value and a label. Each option, has a value and a label. And so if you want to separate the value from the label is what is going to be displayed to the user, and the value is what is ultimately going to be sent to you in an email. So we could say, for whatever reason, we could say blue equals sky blue, yellow equals color of the sun, and red will just leave as it is. And so when the user sees this, they're going to see color of the sun, but we're going to get yellow sent to us. Checkboxes and radio boxes. This is a great input for giving users some options. This is going to add one checkbox at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a field set in here. And a field set kind of groups a set of fields, unsurprisingly. So we're going to say, favorite, contact preferences. And we're going to grab a checkbox and we're going to drag it inside here. And we're going to give this checkbox the field name of contact preferences. I'm just going to copy that there. The value of this checkbox is going to be phone. And we need to update the label to also say phone. And we're going to add another checkbox. And we'll say, after that one, and we will give this one the same name. And we'll give it a value of email. And we'll change the label to say email. Now, it's very important that these two have the same field name. Otherwise, they'll come through in an email as separate values. So whenever you're working with checkboxes and radio boxes, make sure that you give them the same name. This is particularly important with radios where you can only select one option. So checkboxes, the user is going to be able to select any of these. But with a radio, we only want them to select one. So we're going to add another one of these in here. So we're going to add added that in the wrong place. Drag this down underneath this one. Couldn't get a hold of it. Drag this under this field set. And I've gone and nested that, which we don't want to do. So what I might just do is scroll up here. We'll just add it there for now. Field set label. We're going to give this one, what are we going to call it? Best time of day to contact. And we're going to add in a radio box. And we'll give this a name of contact time. Copy that. And we'll give it a value of day. And we'll update the label. Say day. And we'll add in another radio box. Make sure to give it the same name. Set the value to night. And the label to night. Great. So this is all very well and good. We're just missing one very important thing, is that there's no way for the user to submit. So we need to add a submit button here. So we're going to grab our submit button and we're going to add it in. Oh, my mouse is getting in the way here. We're going to add that in below this field set here. And we've got a few little options here. We can make this small. We're going to make it a primary button. Oh, for some reason I've got my primary color set to a horrendous red. So we'll actually just leave that as the default. We can change the text. Yeah, we'll just leave it as submit. So we'll save that. And if we come over and look at the front end now, our form's here, which is great. And look, we've discovered a little bug here. Our name hasn't come through because we've put that in brackets, our placeholder. So we'll get that fixed up before the next release. But let's just remove that for now to say John Doe. Great. So if we type in here, we're going to say Matt. I'm the creator of Gust. Gonna pick our color and see, notice here how our options are, color of the sun and sky blue. I'm gonna choose daytime and email. I'm gonna click submit and it looks like that was submitted successfully. So to verify that, we're gonna come over, I've got MailHog open here. This is using local by WordPress, which is fantastic. A fantastic development environment for local development with WordPress. So make sure you check that out. It's by Flywheel. If you look up local by Flywheel, it should probably come up. We can see it's been sent to Matt and also to support. And we've got this little message here. Hi there, someone has filled out a form on your website with the following info. First name, Matt. Bio, I'm the creator of Gust. We've got our favorite color, current contact time, and contact preferences. If I was to select multiple of those, like maybe I said phone and email, Matt2. Oh, and actually we'll just choose color of the sun so that we get an idea of what that looks like. You can see this comes through as a comma separated list. Yellow has also come through as the value, even though we chose color of the sun. yeah, so that's all pretty straightforward. There's nothing super complicated here. The biggest thing to note is with radio inputs is making sure that they have the same name, and same with checkboxes. Just make sure that you set something sane there that's going to make sense to you later on. Note that Gust doesn't save any of these form inputs. We'll potentially be looking at building a plugin to do that, but for now it just sends an email. And all of these layouts, nothing's set here. You can customize all of these, as you normally would any of the other Gust components. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. Have a great day.